Women make up 1 in 4 of all new HIV cases. And of these new infections, 2 out of 3 are African American women. Joining me are Cynthia Jasper and Shana Brown from the Black Health Coalition of Wisconsin to discuss the SISTA project. Ladies, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Shana, what is the SISTA project and what do you do?
Well, SISTA is an acronym that stands for Sisters Informing Sisters on the Topics of AIDS. And basically it's a social skills training intervention for sexually active African American women, particularly ages 15 to 29, but it's open to all African American women. And we just try to reduce their sexual risks when it comes to sexual behavior and their risk for HIV infection.
Why this particular age group?
Well, those are women of childbearing ages, and statistics show that there is a high STD infection rate, so we know they're having sex. So if we can stop them while they're younger, then we can prevent it while they're older.
Cynthia,
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about why this is still a problem here in Milwaukee, especially amongst this age group. Why is that?
Well, reasons why is because, well, just like Shana was saying, that women are still sexually active and they're into relationships and having babies, even though the pregnancy rate went down, but the STD rate went up. Shana has more information as far as statistics and things like that, as far as
Why it still is a big problem in
Yes.
Milwaukee. What is the statistics here in Milwaukee?
Well, right now in Milwaukee, African American women make up about 60% of all HIV infection rates. HIV is the leading cause of death among African American women ages 25 to 44 in the United States, and African American women make up 12% of the U.S. female population, but we still account for 65% of all AIDS infections in the United States. So you can see that's very disproportionate when it comes to other races. So it's important that African American women learn these tools that they need to so they can stay HIV negative.
Let's talk about some of those tools. What kind of information are you giving the young women in these classes? What do you tell them?
Well, the first, we teach them about ethnic and gender pride. We have to teach them about where they come from and who they are, what it feels like to be an African American woman. And also we teach them HIV/AIDS education, assertiveness skills, because when it comes to relationships, we all know that women, we sort of bow down when it comes to our guys, and we sort of teach them to feel comfortable about saying no when they don't feel comfortable having sex, or saying I want to use a condom. And also we teach them about coping skills and behavioral self-management.
And how long are the classes?
They're 2 hours, it's 5 sessions and they're 2 hours long.
So 5 sessions, 2 hours long. What kind of feedback are you getting from your students?
More time. They want to stay here longer because it's 5 weeks in a row, and then once it's over, we stay in contact with them, but we don't see them as much. So they would like to, they come to all the other meetings that we hold at our organization. It's other things that they want to learn about, such as more STDs and the female anatomy, because they have these parts and they're using them, but they don't even know what they do. Like, they didn't know what ovaries do.
Right.
So things like that. We've even had where mothers and daughters were in the same group, and they were able to discuss different types of issues that they never discussed before, and they're all grown. So we've been getting some very positive feedback.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that positive feedback. And you mentioning mothers and daughters in the same class. I mean, how is that also helping build stronger relationships so that the women understand that they can talk to one another in a family?
And I think one of the things that does happen is that I think Cynthia agrees that sometimes women can put each other down and don't really bond with each other. So through this group, women that didn't know each other at all became friends and continue to do things afterwards and are able to talk openly with other women instead of men about, should I do this or not, and things like that.
In the class, is there opportunity for role playing for women to actually, kind of be in a situation and say, this is what happened to me at home with my boyfriend or my husband, and I'm not sure how to handle it. Is that
Yeah,
available?
that comes up a lot.
A lot.
we do role play in our group, and sometimes it may be a situation where it may get a little too real, so we have to pull it back because we never want anybody to put themselves in a situation where, you know, if we tell you this is what you should do and it puts you in a risky situation, we would never want that to happen. So we try to keep it fiction but real at the same time.
How can people get more information if they want to know a little bit more about the SISTA project?
Okay, well, they can give us a call at 933-0064. My extension is 204, and Shana's is 203.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And that wraps up this edition of Black Nouveau.
Remember, in the coming week, do something to expand your world. Good night.
Good night, and thanks for watching.